Today, we have a very important discussion around the topic that affects every single one of us using social media today to reinforce our values. That is what we're discussing in an age where social media dictates the narrative and controls perceptions and influences behavior. The question remains, are we using it as a tool for good? Can it be a vehicle to drive and reinforce our core values as a society? Joining me to shed light on this pressing topic is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Voice of Nigeria, Malam Jibrin Baba Ndache. Mr. Ndache, you are welcome to the beam.
Thank you so much, my brother.
I'm smiling because I got that pronunciation.
You got it very
well.
All
right, I'm Nigerian,
so
you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get straight into this narrative, basically. You know, the Voice of Nigeria is, it starts with the rebranding, repositioning, the making that image of Nigeria very beautiful. And then given the influence of TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and all these things who are shaping narratives today, the question is, how can we use these platforms for a unified Nigeria identity instead of amplifying our divisions and misinformation?
Thank you very much, Sones. And before I go into talking about Voice of Nigeria, let me start from you. And I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility. What you're doing, speak to the mindset that many Nigerians we want to see and I want to see. Not always seeing the cup as half empty, but as half full. You are doing this not because there are no challenges. You be able to leverage on the opportunity that you have written books and do a lot of things that you have done. Not because there are no personal or institutional challenges or nation challenges that you have not confronted over the year. And this is the mindset that I want every Nigeria, particularly the younger generations, to embrace. Look at the opportunities that are there despite whatever challenge, because every generation will face its own challenge. We are facing our own. So let me come to Voice of Nigeria, which I was appointed by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday, October 19, 2019, resume on Monday, October 23, 2023. And the mandate was very clear. The assignment and directive from the President and Commander-in-Chief through the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation was very clear. The mandate of Voice of Nigeria is to build and amplify positive narrative about Nigeria and Nigerians, Africa and Africans. So it was very clear. So I had my job cut out for me, and luckily for me, the past leaders, particularly those, the immediate past Director General, also saw the need that unlike in the past, now the media is a converged platform. So you cannot say because you are in a broadcast radio and therefore you cannot do digital. Definitely. So I inherited a very robust digital platform. Already. In the past, it was just terrestrial. You have to tune into radio before you're bought. As today, Voice of Nigeria breaks stories on all the platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and all of that, short videos and all of those in line with global best practices in the industry. And in all of that, what is it that we're doing differently? We're saying that, look, traditional media, particularly public media institution under this administration, also has a clear message. You have to be ahead in creating positive narrative, because the biggest challenge is that there are gaps. If you leave the social media as a space that is unregulated, it is only the traditional media when you break truthful, reliable, and timely information. For instance, everybody will say, until I listen to it, I watch it on channel, then I don't know, I won't take it.
True.
That is the way that we are returning, like the Honorable Minister has said, under his 5-point agenda, returning public trust. Because part of the challenge in the past that people have to rely on social media is that when there is no trust in public communication, people will latch on anything because human mind above vacuum.
Yeah.
You know, so what we are doing at Voice of Nigeria is to say that, look, we are not saying that Nigeria is perfect. No country is. But we're saying that on daily basis, there are many Sones, Nathaniel in Nigeria that are doing Nigeria proud. We are saying that every corner of the world, no matter how tiny a country is, there is a Nigeria, a male or female, that is doing Nigeria proud. And there are countries in the world that their economy will not even survive without Nigeria. We need to tell this story. And this is the focus of Voice of Nigeria. So we're not just building narrative around the positive of what this administration is doing, because it's not just about the administration, it's also about the country, about the people, you know, and we're looking beyond those who are here in this country. We're working with Mrs. Abike Dabiri under the Diaspora Commission to also identify many Nigerians who are doing well wherever, so that we can continue to amplify their story. And we already have advantage of languages. We broadcast in 8 languages, 4 national and 4 international languages. We're working to even increase that because of the role now that China is playing in Africa. We're also going to start broadcasting in Mandarin and also in Bahasa Indonesia and Portuguese, which is one of the major languages in Africa that is used by some countries. So we're very clear about the mission because we are lucky. All the public media institutions, now we have a president and commander-in-chief who understand the role of the media. And the Minister of Information, also a media entrepreneur, also understand that public media institutions like Voice of Nigeria, FRC, NTA, NAN, and indeed NOA and all the other media institutions should serve as buffer to whatever is happening. And we have to be very deliberate, intentional in sharing positive narrative about Nigeria and African friends. And that is why wherever I go and whatever we do, and we're doing now in Voice of Nigeria, it's not just focus about Nigeria. Of course, you know the role of Nigeria. Our Nigerian founding fathers were very clear about the role of Nigeria in Africa and beyond. So the Voice of Nigeria was not just set up to project Nigeria and Nigerians, but indeed to project Africa and African. And we're very clear about that. We're deepening relationship, opening new relationships. As I speak with you, we have a partnership with Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, exchange program in broadcast of Swahili, content sharing. Because one of the challenge that I have also noticed, and I'm sure Sonis, in traveling around the world, you realize that many countries, particularly Asian countries, get news about Nigeria for third-generation media. So we are also working to break that now in Voice of Nigeria. We are partnering with countries in joint content production. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Tanzania recently for the African Energy Summit, we didn't have any issue at all because we have partnership. I just put a call to the Director General of Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation. Our President and Commander-in-Chief is coming. This is what we want. These are the people coming within. This is what we want. This is the content that we want. And this is the focus that we want it to be, both in Swahili and then generating content for us to also share here in Nigeria. And then we also share the same thing. Any story about Nigeria in Tanzania today comes directly through content that we are sharing. And if the Ed see any news, they talk to us and say, Jibrin, this is DJD. We verify, you know. And we also have fact-checking units within Voice of Nigeria. Every story that will go out, because as a public media institution, you are not just focused on breaking the story fast. You are focused on truthful, reliable story that people can believe and tomorrow say, no, this is Voice of Nigeria. It cannot be anything but a reliable source.
I think that's a very good way to start off. Let's go to the next question, which concerns me, because one thing I try to do with the BEAM is to make sure that it takes into consideration the needs of the Generation Z and the ones after them. That's the way younger generation, because that's the generation of the future. And so, like you said, they trust this. They trust this. You know, social media. They are there. That's the space in which they thrive. And then beyond propaganda, how can the VOA, meet that need of that generation beyond the whole propaganda that we know many other people have done in the past, which made the public not to trust the government?
Yeah. If you recall, when the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation was appointed, the first thing he said was that he was not going to lie to Nigerians. I mean, if I am coming to channels and there is a hold up on the road, you don't need to say there wasn't any hold up. You say there's hold up, but something is being done. Because even if you say there is no hold up, somebody will see it and say that that has happened.
Yeah.
So, and the President and Commander-in-Chief has also been very clear. Certain decisions are necessary that you will have to take at this point. And you can see one of the agenda, the top agenda of the minister is that bringing back trust in public communication. No matter what you do, if the citizen don't trust communication, the message that comes out from government, there will be that gap. That has been consistently what the Honorable Minister has been trying to close. At the Voice of Nigeria, what we're doing is not just to focus on, and I tell our reporters all around the country, you are not in a state, you are not an appendage of a government house. Yes, you are there to report government house, but there are many stories. If, for instance, you are in Voice of Nigeria office in Enugu, which covered the entire Southeast, it shouldn't be the governor say, the deputy governor say, no. There are events, cultural events in the Southwest that define who we are as Nigeria, that even Nigerians in diaspora can connect with. If you are in Voice of Nigeria office in Kano, you don't go every day and the report we get is about what the governor have done or the governor wife have. No. There are other stories in Kano about the Kano wall that other Nigerians and other people around the world want to connect. Yeah, the festival, Durbar, and all these other, these are the things that define us as a people. These are things that people want to connect to. It's not always political story, and we have various content around that talk to the destination tourism, content that is always about destination, Osho-Oshogbo Festival, other major state festival around the country. These are the things that we focus on. But beyond that, when I came on board, one of the things that I noticed was that there is a disconnect between the content that we generate at Voice of Nigeria with the generation Gen Z. And the first thing that I did was to start inward, internally. I started engaging with the interns, the corpers and interns. I met with them on monthly basis. I've started that in the last 1.5 years that I've been there at the Voice of Nigeria, engaging with them to say, look, you are not just a waka pass, like you said. You don't just garbage in or garbage out. See Voice of Nigeria as your institution where you can build a future, even if you don't have to work here. Because wherever you serve, either as a youth corps, as an intern, is going to go into your profile in the future. So connect, build a future with Voice of Nigeria that wherever you go to, you can offer. And the first meeting that I had with youth corps, about 5 of them came to me and said, we have proposal for you. We want to make presentation for you on how we think you can connect Voice of Nigeria with our generation.
Beautiful.
And they made a presentation of about 30 minutes. Nobody before then in the entire institution had spoken to me about that. And that has helped now to look at where are the gaps. Because even when you are talking about content, it's not just content. There are people who connect with BEAM. There are people who connect with 10 o'clock news. There are people who connect with political platform. There are people who connect with hard copy. It depends on, so you have to build in a democratized space. You have to get space for everybody. There is a Gen Z in terms of how you generate the content.
Okay. All right, welcome back. I'm still here with Mallam Ndaje, and we are still talking about how we can use social media, to reintegrate and then share with the world our core values as Nigerians. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful one so far. Let's go deeper.
Yeah.
You know, one of the extra things that happens when it comes to social media is the gig.
Yes.
Making money,
Yes.
right? And then there are many who feels neglected from what the mainstream is doing, and so they're running down to see how they can make money.
Yeah.
What are the avenues that are available? What extra, can the Voice of Nigeria do to make sure that these young people have, some money that they can use to also, push good narratives?
Let me start by telling you beyond Voice of Nigeria what I think the younger Nigerians should do. One, they should learn from people like you. That is one. Two, there are three devils within that inflict social media users. And I have coined it for all. There is what I coin FOMO, the fear of missing out. There is what I call BMO, be the first to comment. And then the third one, the greed for attention. And all this, take the mind of some of the social media users off the opportunities that they are there in. Someone wakes up in the morning, either it's a Muslim or Christian. If it's a Christian, he has not even done morning devotion. He goes to the phone. And when he goes to the phone, one, he's inflicted by the fear of missing out. But two, the fear of not being the first to comment. So he comments before he or she thinks. And the third, this idea of us being the age of Buga, show off. So you are in a hurry to even post something in the morning before you think. And then if you're a Muslim, you have not even done your Subi prayer. So there are two things. One, sometimes the content that you consume, even without connecting to your God that created you in the morning, can shape how you even think throughout that day, for good or for bad. But if you do that consistently, it takes you off the opportunity because you are not clear-headed about the opportunities that are there on the social media space. So you don't know that until recently that Nigerians are also have caught the bug. You hear that it's India that is the most country with the number of outsourced people. But I tell you, it is changing now. Because I have the example of a lot of young people that I work with, that I mentor, that are also working, late in the night to make legitimate income. They are here in Nigeria, they are earning in hard currency, either in dollar and in pounds. So what am I saying? This is an appeal to all young Nigerians. Yes, embrace social media, but don't allow yourself to be a victim of it. Don't allow yourself to further the agenda of people you don't know. Someone is sitting somewhere, he may not even be in Nigeria, cooling off. He has shared a very negative content about Nigeria. He may even be having two passports, one leg in Nigeria, one leg abroad. And then he wakes up. Nigeria is a useless country. You are here in Nigeria. Your mama and papa, they are all here. And then you join, you share it. You are worse than the man who is out there. So I appeal to all young Nigerians. Criticism is the hallmark of intellectualism. The right to criticize. And this government has been very clear about it. But it's different from condemning. When you condemn something that you say your own country. And let me tell you, Nat, as you know, today, if you want to travel, even when you have the opportunity for fellowship, even when they offer you, they check your social media district.
Definitely.
What are they checking? Are you a religious bigot? Do you bully people on social media? So it's not even about your country, it's about you. It's about you, the social media user. And finally on that, you are talking now, we're all here. Nat, we don't know where we will be tomorrow. I didn't study to become Director General Voice of Nigeria. So opportunity may throw itself on you. And your conduct on the social media will be a minus for you. So be clear-headed, take advantage of the opportunities, that are there. And then I bring it down to Voice of Nigeria on monthly basis. In addition to weekly that I go to newsroom, I interact with corpers and all my staff. On monthly basis, I interact with you corpers and interns. And I tell them, in fact, I think the first or second meeting, about 4 or 5 of the corpers came to me and said, sir, we were thinking of jackpying. But when you spoke to us, I said, look, you can go abroad and study and come back. There are more opportunity in this country and privileges that you have here. And even if you are going, don't put your religion, don't condemn your country. The country may need you in the future, or you need the country in the future. Some people who are in high places today, they live abroad for 2 decades, 3 decades. Today they are here, either at the state level or at the federal level. Who says that no matter how long you stay, even if you don't come, what about your children? So we need to be careful how we conduct ourselves for social media. At the Voice of Nigeria, we're very clear. We have embraced social media for public good. Because we believe in Nigeria, we believe that to solve our own problem, we have to solve our problem. We are not saying Nigeria is a perfect country, but we should amplify the good about our country. And why is it that we have to do it? As a Nigeria, anytime you travel, the perception out there, either as a private citizen or as a government official, is always negative. Why? Because some people
are pushing
a negative narrative about our own country. And at Voice of Nigeria, we're very determined, we're intentional, and very unapologetic about sharing positive narrative about Nigeria and Nigerians, Africa and Africans, wherever they are. And we're even working now to even connect with even Nigerian students abroad to be able to share activities about Nigerians who are abroad and positive stories on daily basis to various listeners at home and abroad.
I want to quickly put you on the spot. Yeah. You said something about criticism and condemnation and all that. Would you say that the present administration is really open to criticism?
Yes, very open. I am not sure that they have, of course, the president is a Democrat. So he understands this very clearly. He's a battle-tested Democrat. You know, he has seen it all. National senator, governor, now president, and even in the opposition for many years. So he's very open to criticism. The Minister of Information and National Security, who is also a media entrepreneur, understands this. And he has always been saying this, that, look, we should continue to engage, and Nigerians have the right to criticize the government, but there's a difference between criticism and condemnation. If I say, Nat, I like your tie, but I think the color of this tie is, I think it should be another color. And you now say, Jibrin, I like your cap, but I think the other color, but you say, Nat, this your tie is useless. Every government is like a piece of poem. For a critic to exist, there had to be a poem. There can't be a critic. There had to be a writer before there a critic. And it's if government have taken decision, that is when people can criticize. And like Roosevelt would say, it is the man who faces the battle, the man who sees the mud, who stays day and night, that matters. As good, as important as criticism is, it is the man who takes decision. And the leaders will tell you, strategic leader will tell you, it's better to take a wrong decision than not to take decision at all. So this government is very open to criticism, but there's a difference between criticism and condemnation.
All right, thank you very much. I want to thank you, Malam Dache, for, I mean, it's an honor having you. We can go on talking for as much as 1 hour plus, but that's our time today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank you so much, and my colleagues at Channels. I know many of them that are here that have given me an opportunity in the past to come on program, and thank you for what you're doing.
All right.
We believe in the country, and let's give support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right.
Renew our agenda, and let the younger people take advantage of all the opportunities that are there.
Okay, thank you very much. That's our time on The Beam today, and I'm hoping somebody has gotten something very insightful when it comes to social media and, you know, reintegrating and reshaping the narrative about this nation.